All right, class is in session. It's a very important case here. And we're going to have some gems to learn. This can save guys' lives, women's lives too, maybe. And I'm not being hyperbolic. This is a very sad case. It is the Andre Warner case. He was convicted of murdering Alan Haller, 27 years old. He executed him during a robbery after after they conspired in a murder. A young girl, 18 years of age, came up with a plan to set up a profile on a dating app called Plenty of Fish. After she set up that profile, it was purely set up to lure Adam Haller on a date so that she could go surveil his apartment and him to see if he had anything of value on him, in his wallet, and in his house. After that date, she goes back, gives the information to the robbery crew, and I say that loosely. These are losers, but they are killers. And Andre Warner was sentenced to death in this case in Florida for killing Adam Haller during a robbery. It's a capital offense, and he was given the death penalty. So this is just a tragic case. This is a 911 call, and then I'm going to switch from this 911 call to the prosecutor's opening statements, and we're going to go through some of the facts of the case and see where there were lessons to be learned. We want to honor Adam. He was a great man, father of a daughter. He begged the killer not to be killed as he was laying on his kitchen floor as they stole all his property, and he complied fully. He did nothing to deserve this. All he did was reach out to a young woman on Plenty of Fish dating app and took her bowling and brought her back home. That's all Adam did. He's a great man, a father, and these killers don't care. They even stole his daughter, 5-year-old daughter's necklace. Says "Daddy's little girl." They have no heart, guys. But also understand the ruthlessness of the 18-year-old woman, if you want to say that, whose idea was to set up the dating app profile on Plenty of Fish to, quote her words, finesse a man. She's done it before. So this, in the dual mating strategy, gentlemen, look at my content. And this is not because I want you to watch it. It's because I want lives saved. Seriously. I've lost friends in this stuff. I'm passionate about this stuff. If you're not, then I'm not for you, okay? Anyway, let's watch this.
Okay, what city are you in?
This is Adam's roommate. He came home, and they go through the back door of the apartment to get in the house, and he has tried to get in. Adam's truck's there, car's there, but he's not answering the door. He thinks Adam's out or whatever. Not a big deal. He found some other things to do, and was hoping Adam would come home so he could open the door for him. What he didn't know is the front door was wide open because the robbers didn't close it when they left. Adam's been on the floor dead for a while now, and his friend has come in to find him on the floor, and obviously you can tell he's a friend and he's a roommate.
Is the phone number you're calling from? 1-662-2072. Okay, just stand up on the stand, connecting us with the ambulance dispatch. One moment. Thank you, thank you. This is 911 with a transfer. Confirm location is 722 Sunset Avenue in Arsenal. Okay, tell me exactly what happened. I walked in, so I got home from work and I didn't bring my keys. So I'm knocking on the back door that we usually use, and nobody answers. I sat there for like an hour because his car was here, thinking he might have rolled with his brother or something. So I get on the bicycle to go to the store, and I notice the front door is open. And I walk in, and the TV's gone, the Xbox is gone, and he's right in the kitchen. And I'm pretty sure he's dead. There's blood everywhere.
Okay. I have additional questions for you, okay?
Yes.
That's mom.
Okay. How old is the patient?
I believe he's around my age, like 27, 26, 27, 28.
Okay.
All right, guys. Just wanted, I do that because it's important. It's not to create a mission and no. Is you don't want a friend to have to find you like that. Okay? And this is serious. This is how serious making choices in the dating space is. And I'm going to go over some very important lessons to, and that's Adam right there, by the way. Oh, awesome man, awesome father. And we will keep saying his name, because you keep saying someone's name, they won't die. They don't die that second death. We will always remember. We don't view these things for our enjoyment. We do it to learn and to honor the great man that Adam was and the great father that Adam was. And he begged them not to kill him because he had a 5-year-old daughter, and they left.
Years of age when he was murdered. He went by the nickname Booby, which was a nickname given to him by his family when he was a little boy. He lived in a tiny one-bedroom apartment located at 722 Sunset Boulevard.
Okay, so let's do our critical thinking, because these robbers are killers, but they're not smart. He lives in a small studio, one-bedroom with a roommate. And you want to rob this guy because they needed money bad, this little group, and they're lazy and they didn't want to work. So they came up with this, HAILEY Bustos came up with this finesse robbery plan. So instead of going to work, right? And I'm being serious and sarcastic at the same time. But, Captain Obvious, he doesn't have a lot of money. All they got was an Xbox, TVs that were broken, and they probably broke them when in the transit. They got his hat collection, which was very nice, and try to remember. Oh, they got his daughter's gold necklace that said "Daddy's little girl" on it. Isn't that sweet, huh? And that's sarcasm. These are evil monsters, dude, and that's why you don't deal with these people and their associates. And we're going to learn how to spot these people in dating apps, and so that you don't deal with them.
Auburndale, Florida. And you're going to see photographs of where he lived at the time that he was murdered. And in the early morning hours of August 19th of 2016,
There's the loser.
Adam was executed on the kitchen floor
Yep.
in that tiny one-bedroom apartment.
Yep.
He was forced to his knees
Uh-huh.
at gunpoint.
Yep. That's
by
what
his
you did,
assailants,
bruh.
all while he was begging them for
Yep.
his life for the sake of his 5-year-old daughter.
And it affected him none.
Now, you're going to learn that Adam lost his life for an Xbox,
Mm-hmm.
some games,
Mm-hmm.
an iPhone,
Mm-hmm.
some liquor,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of cash that he had in his wallet.
Yeah, it's like $10. And by the way, this guy right here, how about, although he's fat, he is healthy enough to get a job, right? Loser.
Gold charm bracelet and a gold necklace that he had for his little girl that had a charm on it that said Daddy's little girl. It's what Adam lost his life over. And you're going to learn that Adam lost his life because he decided to use a dating app, Plenty of Fish, to go on a date. You're going to hear that.
And is that a death penalty right there? You get on a dating app? We all do this. We all do this, guys. well, I say don't do it. This is the reason you don't do it anymore. I'm telling you, seriously. Because women are using it for everything else but dates. And when I say dates, I mean a chance for a sexual relationship to start. That's why men and women are supposed to be on there. But women are on there for attention, for validation, because they're bored, because they're depressed, whatever. They just want pastime. And, obviously, a couple of them are there to rob you. And there was a case just yesterday. It was a high-end chick. She was like a Playboy model, not just a loser ghetto street thug like HAILEY. She actually was a Playboy model, and she was stealing. I think she was. She was with a billionaire. But anyway, yeah. I mean, if you're alpha bangs, their presence is enough. Their presence is enough. Okay. And here's one thing. So we only deal with high interest women. That's how you stop this stuff. Let me go into that a little bit later. Let's keep going.
Adam lived in the apartment where he was murdered for some time. He had moved into that apartment with his longtime girlfriend, Brianna Harper. And they lived there together. Adam had shared custody of his 5-year-old daughter, and his daughter would stay there during the times that was his time to keep her. Him and Brianna broke up the month prior to his murder. She moved out.
Yeah, I think they should have a 5-year relationship or long-term, definitely. That's tough. I mean, he's just out of a relationship, and, probably wanting to meet girls, obviously. He was social. This night he went out to a bar with a buddy of his, and his roommate's also his friend. So, he has social circle, but yeah, I mean, he's not just a hermit, and, nothing wrong with going on a dating app and trying to meet this, and this is when dating apps actually worked 10 years ago, 2016. Now, no. But it's beta male predator hunting grounds now, guys.
Adam remained. After they broke up, that's when he started using the Plenty of Fish app to meet people, to socialize, to date.
And what a lot of people,
on August 18th,
and a lot of good people don't understand that there's also people that use it to rob, and so, and this is 2016, and it was even true then that more women probably used it for nefarious reasons like attention and stuff like that, right? Not bad reasons, I'm just saying other than actual dates, right? But but now even, so that's why I say don't be on them now, because they're definitely, so, and I said it already, but I'm going to say it again because I'm going to drill this into you. Attention is the number one thing they want. That's the biggest group of women on there. They just want attention. And you won't know that they just want attention until you actually ask them out on a date and set that date up. Okay? 2 is the validation chicks. So they're sending you pictures. They're talking sexy. You're telling them how pretty they are. They're so cool. You say, oh, they're getting validated. And at 3, you might as well, you got the Nigerian scammers on there. So you have a very small percentage that are actually there to date. And those might just want to be going out to have a good time. Meaning they want to go to bars. They want to go to dinners. They want to go, show me around the city. They want to travel. They want to go to live music. They want to dance. Seriously. And they want you to take them to be their buddy and to pay for it. I'm serious. But the first priority, and women know this, is sex. Why do you think HAILEY wanted to make this profile? Because she knows she's 18, she's a little cute Hispanic girl, and she knows that someone's going to try to is going to be sexually attracted to her and reach out to her, and that's what happened. She didn't say, hey, let me talk to you, or she didn't put her Roth, or like these ladies say, she didn't put her Roth IRA account on there. No, she put her sexy pictures.
Murder. Actually, only hours before his murder, he met a girl by the name of HAILEY Bustos on the Plenty of Fish app. HAILEY Bustos had just turned 18.
Very young.
Her birthday was in July, the month prior.
So he's pretty much 17. But I mean, I'm just saying, and she's legal.
She has been charged with the first-degree murder of Adam Hailey, just like.
But look at that. At that age, they still know how to finesse. You know. So if she's high interest, she's going to do whatever you ask her to do. She's going to be very enthusiastic to deal with you. She's going to have great conversations. Everything's going to run smooth. She's going to be very respectful. Her voice is going to be higher pitched. She's going to be very pleasant to talk to. Conversations are going to flow. But the main thing is, and you need to set up the dates quick, especially with high interest women, but you ask her to do something, she is the word you need to remember. She's going to cooperate with everything you ask her to do. And I mean, again, you know, within reason, obviously, you know, but when I say everything, I mean, you know, dates, the time to be there, the day. If she doesn't agree with it, she's going to give you a day to change it to, and you're going to, you know, change it to that day. Everything's going to run smooth because she has a high interest in you, right? And this is the key. This will be the key, and this will save your life. I'm just telling, and it's just not hyperbolic. She is going to be very enthusiastic to bang you good and suck you very good. And on this day, Adam gets no sex from this girl. That's key. That is key, guys. I'm telling you. Every woman has we'll just say double handful, you know, 10 guys, let's say, that they, you know, and this is, you know, for argument's sake, that they'll bang in 1 second. And it's more than that, but I'm just saying, and so, and in the world, you are that to a woman looking for you for that. You know what I'm saying? Not every woman is, but there are women out there that want to bang you within 1 second. You got to find those women. They're not as plentiful as the ones that have low interest, that like to go on dates and go shooting and go to gun club and, you know, shooting range and, you know, like to go to live concerts. And those are everywhere. Okay?
Warner has. You're going to hear from Hailey. You're going to learn that Hailey did not have a place to call her own. She didn't have a regular upbringing. She didn't have
a drifter
parents in a home that she went to every night.
A loser. Bad mama and daddy.
As you can imagine, a girl in that position, she started hanging out with the wrong kind of people.
No leadership. That definitely ain't no leader.
And
punk ass.
You're going to learn that that is how Hailey came to know a woman by the name of Evelyn Belmont and some of the other people that I'm going to talk about, including the defendant. Hailey had a friend by the name of Josh Ellington, who was also charged with the first-degree murder of Adam Hailey.
He's the driver. Who
she hung out with. It was somebody that she knew because she had dated Josh's brother in the past.
Oh, this is important real quick. Hailey, the girl who's setting up this dating app and came up with the idea, and she's the one that goes on the date with Adam, and they go bowling. And think of this, guys. You're bowling with a chick that her only mission is to see what you got in your house and to send people over after your date to rob you, right? And I don't want guys to be paranoid, but my point is this is why you don't go out and do things, because she's gonna be performative and act like she's having a good time. You're bowling with a chick that don't even like you. I'm telling you guys, sexuality quickly, genuine burning desire does not allow a woman to wait. If she makes you wait for sex, the sex is not worth the wait. Because the same woman that makes you wait for sex is the same woman that bangs a hot guy at a phone can party within 30 minutes of meeting, whatever it is. Shout out Roll Tomasi. Iron Roll Tomasi 3. So, and again, honor to Adam, but he spent the last day of his life on this earth bowling with the loser chick and not banging. And this is why you gotta, I mean, you know, it kind of sounds, you know, ridiculous almost, but it's not. You know, I'm sure he would, if you set a date up with a girl and you really want to bang her, you need to be honest. If you'd rather bang her than go on that date, that is your truth. And now, if you can honestly say, I want to go on that date more than I want to bang her, then that's your truth. But that ain't my truth. I want to bang. And so be man enough to ask women to bang.
His cousin Lawrence Ellington was the connection to Evelyn Belmont. Lawrence was going to be going over to Evelyn Belmont's apartment in the days leading up to the homicide, and that's what they did. They hung out at Evelyn Belmont's apartment. And Haley and Josh went over to Evelyn's apartment with Lawrence Ellington in the days leading up to the
Big group
homicide.
of losers hang out at this chick's house. There you go.
Evelyn's apartment was located, and you'll see photographs of her apartment as well. You'll see a map. Was located at 2242 Bordeaux Court in Auburndale. And you're going to learn that the distance between Adam's apartment and Evelyn's apartment is, I want to say, less than 2 miles. It's very close in proximity.
He's like, yep.
Now-
No, oh, no, he didn't do it. I'm sorry.
You're going to learn that Haley went to Evelyn's apartment with Josh and Lawrence. And during the course of the days leading up to the murder, other people came and went. They hung out. They had a good time, socialized. Evelyn lived there with her young children. This defendant, Andre Warner, also had recently started staying with Evelyn Belmont. And Andre and Evelyn were good friends.
They're mooching. They're not good friends. They're mooching. They have no money.
You're going to learn that one of the other people that was hanging out at Evelyn's apartment during this time frame was a person named Gary Gray, who is the fourth defendant charged with the first-degree murder of Adam Hilaire. And you will learn that Gary Gray was also connected to Evelyn Belmont. They referred to him as her cousin or crazy cousin. He also had a nickname, Gucci. Mm-hmm. He was not blood related to Evelyn, but that's how close they were. Haley didn't know Evelyn, didn't know Andre, didn't know Gary before the days leading up to the murder of Adam Hilaire. She first met all of those individuals at Evelyn Belmont's apartment. Now you're going to learn that Evelyn was getting frustrated at the fact that she had all of these people staying at her apartment because they were
freeloaders
coming and hanging out for a couple of hours. They were sleeping there. Some of them for days consistently, some of them would come and go, but she was frustrated because her thought process was, if you're going to be staying at my house, you need to help pay the bills.
All right, listen up, fellas.
Her frustration. You're going to learn that in the days leading up to the homicide, this defendant, Andre Warner, was also strapped for cash.
But here comes your hero.
That Thursday, August 18th,
Someone's got an idea.
2016, the day before the murder, hours before the murder, Haley was hanging out at Evelyn Belmont's apartment. The frustrations that Evelyn had about needing money to pay her bills was a topic, and Evelyn suggested to Haley that there's a way we can get money.
Mm-hmm.
And Evelyn showed Haley how to create an account on Plenty of Fish.
Oh.
Told her this is a way that I have finessed
Uh-huh.
money from men.
Oh.
Whether it be through prostituting or
Uh-huh.
talking them out of their money in the way that she did.
Uh-huh.
Haley agreed.
But the lure is sexuality. You know, I mean, let's say Evelyn says she does that, right? Well, if I get on the phone and I'm trying to finesse you, I'd be like, hey, I'm Steve from the dating site. Do you want to go out with me? And you'd be like, what, bro? No, it's the sexuality of the women you're talking to. They know that's their most powerful agency. Sex, we don't care. What? Sex? It gets them money. But if a woman needs something, she don't like you. Women who love you, women who are highly interested in you, women who will love you, women will need nothing but you. That's it. The person that asks for things, my nails, my rent, anything, my coffee, anything, can you buy me this? That's a woman that needs more than just you.
Set up the account with that motivation in mind.
Yep.
And you're going to learn that shortly after setting up that account, and I think that the way the Plenty of Fish account works is you set up your account, and then it allows you to see people in your direct vicinity who are available to communicate with, which is how she ended up communicating with Adam Hilaire.
And he's 10 years older than her.
They first communicated on the app itself, then they exchanged numbers, began texting each other during the course.
See that though? Women that are highly interested in you on an app said this 100 times. That's why I know what I'm talking about, because it comes up again. If a woman likes you, she'll exchange numbers with you quickly. Well, or if she wants to manipulate you here. But again, the time wasters, the attention whores, they will just talk to you on the app.
Thursday afternoon, and finally agreed to meet up that afternoon. Adam picked Hailey up near the Bordeaux Court apartments, and you're going to learn that where Evelyn lived, it was an apartment complex. There's multiple apartments. It's not just one single family home. He goes there. He has his own vehicle. He drives a white Chrysler Sebring. He picks Hailey up. There's no specific plan at that time as to what they're going to...
A little bit of a problem. You need to have a plan. You need to tell her what the plan is, okay? And it needs to be what you want to do. It needs to be good for you. You know, like I said, get in where you fit in. Okay, it's what I want to do on Tuesday. This is what I'm doing. Hey, you want to do that? That's why I say, and again, it needs to be what you want to do. And I'm talking probably 90% of y'all want to bang quickly. Well, then say it. Don't be afraid to say it.
Just going to hang out. They stop back at Adam's apartment so that Adam could get changed. And during the time they were there, you're going to learn that Adam's roommate stopped in. His name was John Hunt. And John started living there.
And that's a red flag right there, though. The fact that she's even going out with him and he hasn't set a plan yet, you know what I'm saying? Most women will be like, well, what are we going to do? One, because they don't want to do boring stuff. Two, if they don't like you sexually, they don't want to go back to your house or Netflix and chill. And three is they want to see if it's weirdo stuff, you know, and, you know, serial killer stuff.
After Adam's girlfriend moved out, and he didn't live there, he didn't stay there every night, but he stayed there occasionally, and he was staying there during this time. So you're going to learn that when Adam and Hailey went back to Adam's apartment, at some point John comes home, they interact for a bit, and then John leaves and goes on his way, or Hailey and Adam leave and John remains there, but it's a very short interaction. Adam and Hailey go to Juanita. That is where Hailey's aunt lives with her two cousins, who are both minors at the time. And they go there for the purpose of Hailey, as I indicated, she doesn't have a place, so she has clothes kind of scattered throughout at different places. So she wants to get changed, she wants to bathe. So Adam agrees to take her there, and that's what she does. And while Hailey's getting ready to go on the date, Adam talks to her young cousins, ends up taking...
Gets used and abused, takes some guy to the convenience store. I mean, weird.
Them to the store and, you know, just trying to lead him in the right direction, give him some advice. And once Haley's ready, they decide that they're going to go bowling. They're in Winter Haven at the Cypress Lanes off of Dundee, if you're familiar with that area. And that's what they do, they go bowling. According to Hailey, they have a pretty decent time.
Decent time means I didn't mind spending it with you and you were okay. But if they would have had a good time, she would have banged.
They spend an hour or so, a couple hours bowling. And after they're finished bowling, they go back to Adam's house, or Adam's apartment. And you're going to learn that when they are back at Adam's apartment, shortly thereafter, Adam's friend by the name of Chris Rogers shows up. And Adam knew that he was going to show up. And him and Adam were going to hang out for a little bit after Adam dropped Hailey off that night.
You know, and you know, because banging is important, right? And it shows intent, right, or whatever. And I think that's what Adam's trying to do here, because he took her back from bowling back to his house. I mean, that usually means, it's chicks know when you're going back to your house. They know. That means you're going to try to, but then his friend comes over, so, and they're not mentioning it. And I'm not saying that they have to, but it would seem to be kind of important, because it would kind of show a little bit of genuineness from the girl a little bit, or whatever. I don't know. But it's not super important, but the fact that it's not being said at all, you know, it didn't happen.
So Chris arrives at the apartment, and we're about after midnight now. Okay. They chit-chat for a little bit, and then they all three leave the apartment. Adam drops Hailey back off at the Bordeaux Court Apartments. Chris is in the back seat. He sees this. And then Adam and Chris go their way, and they hang out for a little bit longer. It's around 1:30 in the morning when Chris gets dropped off at his apartment. You're going to learn that there is a bar called the Bonfire that's roughly 2 blocks away from Adam's apartment. And after he drops Chris off, he goes to the Bonfire to have a drink or to socialize for a little bit. And from there, he ends up dropping off a friend of his in Lakeland and then returning back to his apartment. Now, Adam probably thought that night that he would go to bed, wake up the next morning, go to work where he was scheduled to work, pick up his daughter from school that afternoon. Unfortunately, that's not what happened.
Yeah, I mean, right there, real quick. Yeah, he went on this date with a young chick. They bowled, had a decent time. They both sent each other texts saying, had a good time, let's do it again. Boom, normal. But he's gone to a bar, hung out with a friend of his. You know, he took Hailey home, whatever. Yeah, I'm going to go home, go to bed now. Had a beer, and now I'm going home, go to bed. You know, you would never have thought that this group of thug losers would come rob you. I mean, it's crazy.
Hailey went back to Evelyn's apartment. There's different individuals hanging out there, including the defendant, Evelyn Belmont, Gary Gray, Josh Ellington, Lawrence Ellington, and Denzel Rakowski, who is a friend of Hailey and Josh's.
Yeah, and Denzel is dating Hailey, the one that Adam's going out with. She's actively in a relationship, and that's another thing on these dating apps. A lot of these women are already in relationships. And they're not paid, and they're in a relationship with alpha males. I'm just saying, a lot of them are, and they need attention from beta males. The alpha male that's banging her, she loves it. You know, she makes him dinner, and he comes over, and you know, and they have a great time, and you know, she buys him some gifts here and there. She really likes him and wants to get serious with that guy, but he just, you know, never stays, and she can't get him to stay over and commit, you know, and even talk to her, hear her problems out. But, oh, here you are on the dating app, You know, let's get to know me better. I'm a sapiosexual. I like intelligence. I like deep conversations. If you answer yes to any of those questions, you beta.
His young child, who I think was about 2 at the time. And I told you Evelyn had her young children there who were roughly the same age. Haley will tell you that when she got back to Evelyn's apartment, she went to sleep and she is awoken by Gary Gray, who tells her that she needs to come out because we want to know what Adam has in his apartment. And she does that. She goes out to the main area of the apartment and she proceeds to tell Evelyn and Gary and Andre all of the things that she saw in Adam's apartment that they could steal. TVs, I forgot to mention that earlier, a couple of TVs were stolen as well. TVs, Xbox. She tells him that when they went bowling, she saw a little bit of cash in his wallet.
Chump change. I mean, come on.
And that's when they decide that they're going to go take what they want from Adam Hilaire.
Because they deserve it? I mean, unbelievable.
Haley will tell you that she is the only one that knows where Adam lives. So she agrees to go with Andre Warner and with Gary Gray. And Josh Ellington is asked to be the driver. And the vehicle that they took over to Adam's apartment was Andre Warner's vehicle. This is somewhere around 3 in the morning now. Haley directed them where Adam lived. She will tell you that they parked somewhere down the road from the apartment at first, and that Andre Warner and Gary Gray are the 2 individuals that go to Adam's apartment. Her and Josh Ellington remain in the car. Josh is to be the getaway driver once they're done stealing what they went there for. She's going to tell you that shortly after arriving there, one of them comes back to the car and tells them to pull up to the front of Adam's apartment. And you're going to see that Adam lived in a quadruplex and only used the back door to his apartment. The back door in the back of his apartment building was the parking lot, so it was just easier access to get to and into and out of his apartment. The front door was only used to check the mail. But where Haley will tell you that they pulled up to was the front door of his apartment. And that at that time, she sees Andre Warner and Gary Gray going back and forth and bringing the things that they steal from Adam. The TVs, the Xbox, hats. She doesn't see everything, but she sees those bigger things. And she says they make a couple of trips back and forth. She will tell you that the way they got into the apartment was by knocking on the door, back door, and then when Adam answered it, Andre forced his way in by gunpoint. She will tell you that once they are done unloading all the things that they want to, or loading all the things that they steal from Adam, Gary comes out of Adam's apartment. She hears a gunshot, and then Andre Warner comes running out. And as he runs out of the apartment, he actually slips and falls in the grass, and she can see at that point that he has a firearm. And she will describe it to you as similar to the ones that law enforcement officers carry, semi-automatic. Now, she is going to tell you that on the way back to Evelyn's apartment, Gary Gray and this defendant, Andre Warner, thought it was really funny how Adam Hailey was begging for his life. And they were laughing at Adam's expense. They were saying how he was begging for his life and telling them that he had a 5-year-old daughter.
Mm-hmm. And he gave no fucks.
And at that time, they told Hailey that not to worry about it because they had just shot.
All right, I'm going to end it. It's getting too long, but that's the gist right there, gentlemen. And I'm going to go over some other videos, but only deal with high-interest women. A woman that, you know, you don't go bowling. We don't do that. No, that's too much investment on a first date. You need to be going out with women that want to have sex with you. That's how you know they like you. Okay? And look at this. You know, Hailey, the one that is luring him, had a boyfriend already. Get off dating apps. Okay? They're on there for your attention, your money. So, you know, you want to hear that enthusiasm. You want to hear that, you know, higher pitched voice. You want to hear the you know, flirting, sexual innuendos, desire to have sex with you. Those are the things that a highly interested woman wants to do. And that's only who you deal with. The only one you deal with. Now, will that make you have to say no to a lot more women? Yes. Yes, it will. But you would have said no to them anyway because, you know, but at least you don't have to worry that you're bowling for an hour for a chick who's doing surveillance on you to see what you got in your apartment. And she's sending a crew over when you go to sleep. Get off the dating apps. Join social groups. I said it before. You know, run clubs, church groups, you know, CrossFit gyms, you know, art classes, dancing classes, jujitsu, karate, you know, whatever, you know, sports teams, co-ed soccer, you know, get to know people, get out and about, get into spaces of women, get off the dating apps, get outside, touch grass. That's all for now. Be careful out there, guys. See you on the next one.